that Stephan Stearns has been indicted by the grand jury on first-degree murder.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody, where we cover true crime, mystery to the missing. Madeline Soto, who just turned 13, went missing on February 26, and sadly her body would be found on March 1st. The prime suspect in the case, Stephan Stearns, a monster who entered Maddie's life many years before as he was dating her mother, Jennifer Soto, and eventually moved in with them. After Stearns' arrest in late February and facing 60 charges of terrible stuff to Maddie and more, had not been charged yet with her murder. It would take another 7 weeks before he would be charged with first-degree murder. But what really happened to Madeline Soto, and when was she actually murdered? During a recent interview with investigative journalist Shannon Butler, she claims she has new shocking info about what day she was actually murdered.
Yeah, so there's a few things here. Sources have told me there were multiple people inside that house on Sunday night. We're talking about Sunday night right after Madeline Soto's birthday party, all of that video that you've seen in those pictures of her birthday party. There were multiple people inside that home. So investigators had to go back and interview all of those folks. We know it was Stephan Stearns. We know it was Madeline Soto. We know it was Jen Soto, but there were a couple of other family members there. So one, they had to go back and do all of those interviews. We don't know if any of that information was helpful in them trying to pinpoint and get where they got today. But that indication now that she possibly was killed right after her birthday party. So if you look at that, Vinny, that would have been Sunday night, not Monday morning. If you remember, they said that she was dropped off at school. Sources have told me they believe at this point that she was killed possibly overnight. That would be Sunday night. And that is an important time frame because if you listen to the statement.
So during this interview, Shannon claims that along with family members, Madeline Soto and Stephan Stearns being there, that Jen Soto was there. But I think she meant Jen Soto's mother, since she claimed that she never made it to the party. And if she was there, why wouldn't Jennifer Soto and Stearns drive together from the party back to the home? Also, it's rumored that Jen Soto worked that night from 2 to 10, but that has not been verified. So I believe she may have misquoted her name and was clearly talking about the people at the party and who was there, and that they have been re-interviewed. But clearly the most shocking new info is that she claims Soto was killed on the night of the 25th, which could suggest Madeline never made it home that night, and Stearns drove her from the party and took her somewhere else and killed her. There has never been mention of evidence found in Jen Soto's home of a murder. So this reinforces my theory that Madeline Soto's body could have been dumped, say somewhere nearby, not far from her grandmother's home, possibly in a wooded area nearby, which could suggest that the last text from Maddie's phone, where she claims that her birthday wish when she turned 13 was to live in the woods, this could have been sent by Stephan Stearns himself. This theory, along with Shannon's statement, would support this timeline, which I believe after Madeline was murdered, her body was placed in a different location on the night of the 25th. Stephan Stearns then returned earlier that next morning to Jen Soto's condos, and at 7:35 a.m. he is seen discarding Madeline's backpack and laptop, making it look like she went to school that day. Then leaves shortly after. Now this is where he went out the front gate, which supposedly doesn't have cameras, or I believe this would have been mentioned by law enforcement. From here we know he headed towards the school area around 7:50 a.m. approximately, which coincidentally is the area near where Madeline Soto's grandmother lived, which is just west, less than 4 miles from the school and where she had her birthday party. Perhaps Stephan Stearns staged her body somewhere nearby that area, then retrieved her body and placed it into the car, then decided to bring her back. At 8:10 a.m., Stearns' car was captured by a license plate reader heading south on John Young Parkway. Then approximately 9 minutes later, he arrived and entered the back entrance of Jen Soto's condos at 8:19, where there was a working surveillance camera, and from there most likely kept her body in his car until just after noon, where he left again and would travel southeast to dispose her body just off this road. Now, it's certainly possible Stearns had her body in the car the whole time, and him driving near the school and returning was him trying to set up an alibi of sorts, but he drove near that school around 8 a.m. But that school does not start until 9:30 a.m. And since he had no problem leaving her body in the car after he returned, why not leave 45 minutes later instead of leaving at 7:40 approximately? Either way, after hearing this bombshell information about her being murdered the night of the 25th, would suggest that sadly right after Madeline's birthday party, something happened, and I don't think it happened at Jen Soto's condo. Which also raises the question, did Jennifer Soto ever contact Stearns that night and wonder when they would be coming back home? Stephan Stearns has a new hearing set for the 29th of April in the next coming days. As soon as more information comes out, we will do another video. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button. Please consider subscribing if you're new to the channel, and thank you so much for watching.